Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Jeremy Bernstein, tape, November 27, side A. Born July 26, 1928, New York City. My father is a doctor. One sister, Barbara, married, 2 children, lives in New Jersey, 6 years younger. Her husband is a lawyer. I was taught to play chess at the age of 12, but did not play seriously until about age of 17. When I joined the Marshall Chess Club in New York on West 10th Street, between 5th and 6th Avenue. Okay.
Whatever came along. Did you have any particular intellectual interests as a child that you remember? I mean, were you an avid reader or?
No. I had few intellectual interests. As a child, I was a school misfit and considered, reading a book schoolwork. And I don't think I read a book for pleasure until after I graduated high school.
Well, what were you doing? I mean, your misfit.
Well, I had one thing I think that perhaps helped me get over being a misfit, a school misfit, and that is that I became interested in photography about the same time, 12 or 13. And I think that if you get involved in any kind of problem solving in depth on almost anything, it is surprisingly similar to problem solving of anything. I started out by just getting a camera and learning how to take pictures and learning how to print pictures and learning how to build a darkroom and learning how to do all the technical things and so on and so on, and then finally trying to find out how you could sell pictures and become would it be possible to be a professional photographer? And it was a case of over a period of, say, from the age of 13 to 17, you might say, going through step by step by myself without anybody really helping me, the problem solving of becoming a photographer. And I found that, I think in looking back, that this particular thing about problem solving is something that schools generally don't teach you, and that if you can develop a kind of generalized approach to problem solving, that it's surprising how it helps you in anything, and that most of the deficiencies that you see around you in people that say you don't think particularly you're doing their job right or something, is really that, assuming that they care, and, a lot of people that appear to care or may actually care are still not going about things particularly the right way. When you think about it, I generally find that it's just that they don't have a good generalized approach to problem solving. They're not thorough. They don't consider all the possibilities. They don't prepare themselves with the right information and so forth. So I think that photography, though it seemed like a hobby, and ultimately led to a professional job in photography, might have been more valuable than doing the proper things in school.
Were you sort of the despair of your family at that time because of your schoolwork, or did you?
Well, it wasn't a real drama, I imagine so, but it was never completely apparent until I graduated from high school that I couldn't go to college, because I graduated in 1945 when all the GIs were now pouring back on the GI Bill, and I had a 67 average, and it turned out that there wasn't any college in the United States, even of the lowest caliber, who would take a student with less than a 75 average in that year. So I couldn't get in. I failed to get into college. I had developed myself as a photographer, and prior to graduating high school, I had sold 2 picture stories to Look. And
what were they about?
One was about a teacher in high school named Mr. Traister, Traister, who taught English. And most of the English courses that I had consisted of the teacher saying, you're to read 5 pages of Silas Marner tonight, And the next day, the class was spent in sitting at the book like Emil Jannings in The Blue Angel, looking up over the book and saying, you know, Mr. Kubrick, and then you stand up and they say, when Silas Marner walked out of the door, what did he see? And if you didn't know what he saw, you got a 0. and that was it. And as a matter of fact, I failed English. The only courses that I got good marks in were science courses.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember now, but I think I got about an 87 in physics. And not in mathematics, though, but in science courses I liked and did reasonably well. But they bought these 2 pictures. Oh, and I also sold them a picture. I sold them 2 picture stories and a photograph of a news dealer sitting on 170th Street in the Grand Concourse, right across 2 blocks away from Taft High School.
Is that where you went? You were
Yeah.
at Taft High School? Yeah.
With all the headlines saying Roosevelt, you know, dies or FDR dead.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there looking depressed. And they liked this picture and used it in a whole series about Roosevelt, and it was sort of the final picture of the series.